Hello students, how are you? Hope you are doing well. Today we are meeting with another question. This is the question 2 in our question video series. Let's look at the question. Suppose a baker claims that his bread height is more than 15 centimeters on average, but his customers do not believe him. So he wanted to prove that using a hypothesis testing. He baked 10 loaves of breads and mean height for those was 17 centimeters. The baker knows from baking hundreds of loaves of breads, standard deviation for the height is 2.5 centimeters and height of the breads is normally distributed. Conduct a hypothesis testing. Can we agree with baker? Use alpha equals 0.05. At the very beginning, you have to identify what is the claim. As you all know, it has stated that with the word claims, right? So, the claim is that his bread height is more than 15 centimeters on average. At the end of the claim, you make the population parameter. So we can write down claim in the symbolic format. What is the claim? Mu greater than 15 centimeters. Okay. Next, we should write down the symbolic opposite of this claim. Okay. Symbolic opposite of this one is mu less than or equal to 15 centimeters. Since this statement contains the equal sign, right? This has the equal sign that goes to the null hypothesis. Then we should identify the null and alternative hypothesis between these two. So, because equal sign includes in this statement, that goes to the null hypothesis. Okay, write down null and alternative hypothesis. Now, this is our claim. Since our alternative hypothesis contains greater than symbol, this test is a right-tailed test. Next, we should find out which distribution to use. Okay, look at this statement. The baker knows from baking hundreds of loaves of breads, standard deviation for the height is 2.5 centimeters. See, this is not something belongs to a sample. This is the sample, that's true. N is equal to 10. He baked 10 loaves of breads and mean height for those was 17. Yeah, that's true. Here x bar equals to 17. That means the mean height for those baked 10 loaves of breads is 17. But this is not something belongs to a sample. So this is the population standard deviation. And height of the bread is normally distributed. Okay, now the normally distributed height and the population standard deviation is given. Therefore, we use the Z distribution. Now, this is the Z test statistic formula. Okay, you know, let me note down those things. N is equals to 10, x bar equals to 70, sigma equals to 2.5. Now, x bar is 17. You know, this mu come from the null hypothesis. So, here go to null hypothesis and look at that one, it has 15. So, mu is 15. Divide by 2.5 and take the square root of 10. Okay, then the test statistic is 2.53. Round the Z test statistic up to 2 decimal places. Now 2.53. We can take the decision using the critical value method or the p-value method. We are going to do this one using both methods. Okay. So next we have to identify the critical value. This is a right tail test. Definitely then you should color the right tail area with 0.05. This one is the alpha. It's given in the question. According to that one, you see that area right to some z value, that should be 0.05. Now I'm going to use this negative z table and take the critical value. If you color the same area from left side, that means same 0.05 area from left side, that c value will be minus 1.64. We discussed these things. Because of the symmetry, we can say that the critical value, the positive critical value is 1.64. Okay, now this region is the reject H0 region for right tail test. Area left to the critical value is the fail to reject H0 region. Okay, now our test statistic value is 2.53, right? So 2.53 is somewhere here. That means it is right to the critical value and falls into the reject H0 region, right? Therefore, what is the decision? Decision is we reject H0. Decision is reject H0. Okay, let's look at how we can prove this one. The same decision using the p-value method. Now the critical value is 2.53. It is somewhere here. Since this is a right tail test, in order to find out the p-value, you should consider the area right to the test statistic value. So the green colored area is the p-value, right? Now you can go to the minus z value table and find out the area left to minus 2.53, right? This area. That area is 0.0057. So because of the symmetric property in the normal distribution, area left to the minus 2.53 is the same as the area right to the 2.53. So the p-value is 0.00570. Okay, now how can we get the decision using p-value? We have to compare the p-value with alpha. There are two cases. First case is p-value greater than or equal to alpha and p-value less than alpha. If p-value is greater than or equal to alpha, we fail to reject null hypothesis. If p-value is less than alpha, we reject null hypothesis. Now our p-value is 0.0057 and our alpha is greater than to that one and it is 0.05. So our decision is reject null because p-value is less than alpha. So according to that one, we can say there is sufficient sample evidence to claim that, what is the claim? Bread height is more than 15 centimeters on average. Therefore, Baker's claim is correct. So we can agree with him, right? Okay. Hope you understood the question properly and let's meet with another question soon.